An independent MP just told Australian corruption watchdog he thinks the government gambling reform policy might be corrupt, not weak, not watered, corrupt in the specific sense the National Anti-Corruption Commission investigate. That's the word Andrew Wilkie used on Wednesday, standing at the Parliament House about a bill his own crossbench colleague had been fighting over for months. Behind it, $4 million in donation, a dinner funded by a betting company for a former minister, and a piece of legislation that landed a long way short of what the government owned 2023 inquiry recommended. Here's what actually happened and what a corruption referral does and doesn't means. The gambling donation referral Wilkie referred the matter to the NACC himself on the record at the Parliament House. This morning, I referred the gambling reform matter to the National Anti-Corruption Commission, he said. He went further than the procedural complaint. My concern is that individual in the federal government, when formulating gambling reform policy, has been improperly influenced by the individual in the private sector. This has resulted in a policy so clear at odd with research public opinion and the public interest that implementation of such policy could be characterized, in my opinion, as serious corruption. That's a sitting MP putting the word corruption on the record about a bill his own government is trying to pass this fortnight. The number underneath his complaint $4 million in donation from a gambling companies to the Labour Party between 2021 and 2025, a figure 9 newspaper first reported in late July. It sounds abstract until you put it next to what the government-owned inquiry found back in 2023. A parliamentary committee led by the late Labour MP Peta Murphy delivered 31 recommendations after examining gambling harm in Australia. The headline, one, phase out gambling advertising entirely. It had support across party lines. I read the thing itself. Few of the 31 recommendations have actually been implemented. What's on the table instead? Betting ads limited to 3 per hour between 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. and a ban of gambling ads at live sports in the stadium and on the player jersey. Those are real restriction and also nowhere near a pace out. Wilkie isn't alone. 8 other independents back his view that the bill doesn't go far enough, and some are pointing at more than the donation. Figure independent MP Sophie's camp. It's not only those 4 million in the donation over the last 5 years in lavish gift. We heard about the lavish birthday party that was put on the former communication minister. We know about the tickets to sporting events. The former minister she referring is to Michelle Rowland. In 2023, she was dined by Responsible Wagering Australia, the lobby group representing Sportsbet, Ladbrokes, and Bet365. A year before that, she accepted a 19,000 donation from Sportbets directly. Neither detail is a new. What's new is an MP formally asking the corruption watchdog whether it's add up to something worse than the bad optics. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese responded in Parliament the same day. He didn't dispute Wilkie's right to make the referral, but rejected the substance. Our government is determined to get the policy right, he said. We have exchanged view across the parliament, including with crossbenchers, including with the opposition, and we will get it right. I don't suggest members on my side of this debate have been influenced, other than by how do we deal with an issue that is complex. Wilkie and Scamp say the money speaks for itself. Albanese says that the process does. Neither claim has been tested by an actual investigation yet. Worth being straight about what NACC referral is and isn't, and any MP can make one. The Commission doesn't confirm or deny whether it opens an investigation. Nothing in this week reporting say it has. This isn't a story about the government being under investigation. It's a story about sitting independent putting a serious allegation on the public. records and daring an independent body to look at it. That's worth taking seriously on its term. Whatever the NACC eventually does with it, because here's the thing, even if an NACC file never opens, weaker gambling ad rules that the government's own inquiry recommended, funded in the part by donation from the industry, those rules are meant to restrict it exactly what regulatory capture look like from the outside. That's not a verdict. It's the reason they refer matters regardless of where it lands. Same week, different bill. Same two negotiators. Albanese sat down with opposition leader Angus Taylor on Monday over the news media bargaining incentive bill, the one that makes big tech platforms pay for the news content they carry. It went into Parliament today, Thursday. The final version pulled back from an earlier plan that had alarmed News Corp. The government original proposed was flat 2.25% levy on a platform Australia gross revenue announced last week, and the triggers real pushback from the coalition before Albanese and Taylor sat to negotiate. What came out the other side, platform earning 250 or 250 million a year or more from Scratch or social media in Australia now pay a 2.5 levy unless they strike voluntary deal with the publisher. A cap limiting any single outlet share of the payout cap at 25% of the total levy. It's back in the after the government had floated dropping it. The minimum number of deals a platform needs to sign to avoid the levy climb during negotiation too. Four, then six, then eight in the final drop. The wire service AAP is guaranteed 5% whatever the scheme raises. Assistant Treasurer Daniel Molino framed it as a protecting smaller publishers, saving the goal is to ensure the media sector is threatened. From the large companies to small one, Communication Minister Annika Wells said journalists deserve to get their fair share from digital platform that benefit from Australian news. Whether the coalition actually backs the bill now that introduced is still open. Taylor helping the shape the amendment doesn't commit his party votes. News Corp's Michelle Miller have warned that early 2.25% shift would cut the incentive for tech platform to strike fair deal. That criticism was aimed at a version of the bill that no longer exists. Now that the 25% cap is back, whether Miller still has objection to what actually got introduced today is worth watching. Three dates worth singling. Tomorrow, Friday, the NDIS Bill Senate Committee had done its final report, capping separate fight with covered in detail this morning. A week from Monday, the 17th, the Senate Committee reviewing the gambling bill itself report, which is when we'll find out whether any of this week pressure Wilkie's refer included actually changes the bill shape before the vote and watch Parliament over the coming days for the coalition first real reaction to the news bargaining bill. Now, that is formally before the House. None of that tell us where the NACC referral goes. The Commission doesn't run a public clock, and there's no reporting yet on whether it's taking the matter up. The one stays open. Two bills, one government, 1 week of deal making with the coalition, and now a formal corruption allegation sitting alongside all of it. We'll keep following both threads. See you next time. And this is Miko Santos, and welcome to Inside OSPO. And don't forget to subscribe to our Substack. Thank you.